Hey there. Okay, that took a minute to go live. It looks like we're good now. Okay, great. I am going to make sure that I see it on my page or just maybe put a comment up. I'll open up comments right now so that I know you're here. And then once I see someone on, I'm going to go ahead and get started. You can maybe say where you're from or something just so I know everything's good. All right, so we're going to do this real fast, about 10 minutes. Today's topic is God is not a divine accessory. So I like the story that Pastor Dean had in this. I mean, we all could use faith, hope, and love, right? And so these are the 30 days, and we're in day 7. And so now today we're talking about basically his story is this, I think it's like I wish I could go back and look. It's a bit since I read it, but I think it was a snowblower or a leaf blower, some sort of equipment. And he loved it because it was able to do like all these different things. That's why I'm having troubles remembering. It could leaf blow and it could edge and it could cut and it could just do all this stuff, right? And I kind of remember my husband getting the same tool. And I don't know, I've even seen people out this winter using their leaf blower to like scoop the snow, and blow the snow around, whatever. I mean, how convenient. Well, the idea is, do we do this with God? Do we think? So today's challenge is, do we kind of expect God to be our one all, do all, be all? I mean, he is everything, right? So shouldn't that make sense? Like, I don't know, we should be able to expect that he can do all things, right? But does he want us to? And does he want us to be able to do some things on our own as well? Also, I like the story, you run while you pray. Have you ever heard that? Like it's this childhood story, these 2 kids, they keep missing the bus and the mom's frustrated because she keeps they live out in the country and she keeps having to stop everything and drive the kids into school. And she says to them as they're going out to play in the morning, listen, boys, pay attention, because when that bus comes, you have to get on it, and I'm not driving you to school yet. So they go out and they play, and they're in the middle of this field, and she sees the bus and she's like, oh, brother. And the oldest son pops up and he starts tearing off for the bus, and the little one is still there in the middle of the field. And she can hear the older brother like yell back, like, get up, what are you doing? And he yells back, I'm praying. And his big brother is like, well, run while you pray, right? And so that's us sometimes. Like, are we expecting God to do everything? We're not going to grow. We're not going to learn. And we just have to do our part as well. So I appreciate this challenge for us to think inside today's lesson was, is spirituality the same as religion? And is religion the same as like an intimacy with God? Is there a difference? Do you need one? Do you need all of them? Like, is he a one size fits all? Some of us may even think, I'm trying to be so careful, but we'll say Trinity. Hope that one works and I don't get shut down. Anyway, so, that's 3 things in one. Do you take one? I mean, how dangerous if I can't use the other 2? And so where are we in this whole relationship, and how are we using God? That's what today's challenge is, for us to really think about, how are we tapping into and using God? So, we might think of it in terms of, so let's not try to fit God into our plans. Instead, we need to fit into God's. And so that was like a quote right out of there that I really liked. Are we trying to fit God into our way? Like, we're going to the lake for the weekend, so maybe we just won't come back early enough to get to church, or we'll just do it online again. Well, there's nothing wrong with that, but are you getting in a habit of it? And are you starting to whittle God out? Or do you go find a different one where your home is? Or maybe it's more like, your sleep, maybe you work nights. And so church is one thing, but now let's go another way. Let's say intimacy. So what if you say, I go to church every single Sunday, do I really need to read the Bible? Well, we can't really get close to God if we don't get his word in us. Like, God is the word. If you want to have an intimate relationship with God, You have to get to the word because he is the word. And when he comes into you, that's how you get really close. That's how you hear him. When we wonder, like, I wish I could hear God. Well, there's a lot of noise going around in this world right now, and you are hearing that. And so are you also allowing yourself to be consumed with the written word? Are you allowing yourself to hear some of that too? Or do you just expect, nope, God's the one-stop shop. Sunday, my church service, that's good. I'm good. I mean, I get this. We've had stages in our life where I'm no different than the rest. Okay, so then now there's another quote that I took out of the lesson for today, and it said, what is the difference in believing in God and believing God? So yeah, I mean, I can believe in God, but then when I'm hearing him nudge me to do this or that, or I see word that says, if you do this, this will happen. If you walk with the Spirit, then your life, you will be patient and kind and loving and have self-control. Like, we know this. So do I believe in God, but I'm not believing what God says, right? So that, I thought, that is a challenge for me. I want to not only believe in God, but I want to know what he has to say, and I want to double down on it. That's the story of the talents. Like, we get these gifts. Do we believe that we're gifted? Do we believe that we have a purpose? Because he says so. And then are we doubling down? So there's 3 kind of homework assignments for you guys. So the first one is, in what ways are you trying to get God to do your plan? Hi, Leslie. Nice seeing you. In what ways are you trying to get God to do your plan? The way it's supposed to be is the other way. We're supposed to get to know God, to be intimate enough with him, to be with him and in the word, that we can hear our plan, and then that we try to make efforts for it. And we try to fit into our plan from him. It's his plan for his glory. And it's powerful when you get in this place. I mean, when sometimes people say, I just don't have energy. I don't feel like I have a lot of hope. It's the joy is gone. When you get in your sweet spot, when you are really doing the work that you're called to do, you feel joy and purpose and energy, and it's awesome. So we want to do the plan that God intended for us. Like, he gifted and talented us into a way that we can have this really blessed, enjoyable life. Okay, number 2 homework then is, what ways are you trying to make God an accessory? So now, like, are you literally trying to turn him into that one-stop shop? So just try to think to yourself, like, I expect that he answers my prayers, but you're not really praying. You just maybe wait until you crumble, and then you're like, please God. Well, yeah, he is going to do that, but you can't expect, if you're only going to call on him when you're down on your knees miserable, that he's going to be answering every little whim and thing throughout the days. Sometimes when we're really in a relationship, we're tapped into him and we're doing the prayer the way that God asked us, the way it's written, where we first, give praise. And then we kind of look at, okay, well, what do I need to repent? Because I shouldn't be going to God when I'm all dirty. So you kind of lift up the things that are kind of not right. And then you're kind of in a good spot to now come with a clear mind and everything. So now you come, you acknowledge him, and you kind of have access to him, and you're able to tap into all these things, these things he's telling you, these gifts that he's going to be giving you. And then last, you get the option of, okay, now I'm going to go out and I'm going to give praises and I'm going to go step in. So like, we want to use God to the fullest and let him use us to the fullest, right? And last, we need faith. And if we aren't close to God, how will we ever have faith in him? So not just once, like, it's a relationship. Can you imagine, like, when you, it took me a while to build trust with my own husband, right? I suppose somebody could look at my history and be like, okay, well, yeah, she's going to have trust issues, whatever. So we had to work through that. But he had to work at it. And so when we're trying to trust God, we have to give him opportunities to show us. That's what the Sabbath is about. Like, so we ask for something, and we literally have to ask, and then we have to look and wait for it and look for it and be paying attention to nudges and doors that are opening. And then after we get what we want, we can't think, oh, isn't that a great coincidence? We have to realize, wait a minute, I asked for that and it came. And you understand and you learn after some patterns. You see, well, okay, it doesn't necessarily always happen right away. It maybe happens 3 days later or 10 days later or 2 years later, but you see that it's been answered. And this is like the Sabbath. You look back and you recognize how you called on him and how he responded, and this increases your faith. This is how you then can start to double down and go out in big ways, because now you have that trust built because you've seen him be there for you. All right, so I'm going to quick just say our last 7 days that we've been through. The first one is God still speaks. I mean, we hear him. We can hear him in prayer. We can hear him in music. We can hear him in circumstances as doors are opened. People come our way and help us just when we need it. We can hear him through wise counsel. So if we're not in that tight of a relationship yet, call someone who is. I did this last week. Literally, I called about 4 people that I needed help from, and they were all there for me and had the wisest words. And I'm saying they're probably going to listen to this, and I'm going to say, thank you. Thank you so much. Number 2, day 2 was all about like God's house, like our stuff. Do we claim it as our own? I worked for this. It's my stuff. Well, then we kind of leave our life and our circumstances within ourselves. Like we want to give ourselves to God and to the Trinity, that word, I hope that doesn't get me blocked, but we got to give ourselves to all of them, and then we are able to be used by it all. And so this really helps magnify the imprint that you have on this world and your family and your friends and the kingdom. Day 3 was all about faith, is saying yes before you even know what's being asked. Like you get a nudge and you're like, I don't know why I'm hearing this. Like, why do I have to call that person or whatever? And you respond anyway. You say yes, even though you don't know. And day 4 was all about desire trumping duty. You know, you can get up every day and you can do what you're supposed to do, but if your heart isn't in it, you're going to fall off the wagon. It is. It's too hard. Desire trumps duty. So then guess what the next day was? The next day was, hey, now fear fogs faith. So you got to just do it anyway. So now we're kind of talking about duty, right? And this process. And the last one that we did was this product. The product without a process doesn't do any good. So we need the process. We do have to have some duty. Faith desires first, but then you need to have some duty. And we end with today. Today was all about God not being some divine attachment like the snowblower, scooper, I don't know, edger, leaf blower thing, right? God is not our one-stop shop. He is, but we can't expect to get access to all that when we just show up once for 1 hour on Sunday, or maybe 2. All right, guys. So it was nice having you here. I cannot wait for tomorrow. And you guys have a great day. Go live, love, learn, and lead according to the call God has on your life.